Okay.
Something stopped me dead in my tracks. I was headed for disaster and then I turned back. I was wrestling with the coat hanger. Can you guess who won? The universe shrugged, shook then moved on. It's a guess, no idea. It's a feeling, not a voice in my head. Just a feeling. And by the way, it's my cannon come alive. And by the way, this time I'll get it right. Oh. Not a shaman or a showman, ashamed I was selling the rights. I took a breather and decided not to ruin my life. I was conforming to a cosmic design. I was playing too tight until I walked back to the garden of earthly delights. I was born to perform. It's a calling. I exist to do this, shouting and pointing. And by the way, it's my cannon come alive. And by the way, this time I'll get it right. Oh. No one will ever understand it, and no one will ever have the last word, because it's not something you could ever say. So swivel. It's a guess, no idea. It's a feeling, not a voice in my head. Just a feeling. And by the way, it's my cannon come alive. By the way, this time I'll get it right. Oh, and by the way, Saw her this morning on the train. She's playing games. Sometimes she changes the colour of her hair or her skin. She still wear the t-shirt with the horizontal stripes. The one she wore the night I almost spoke to her. Tina's always attentive to my needs. We're really good together 'cause we never meet. Tina. Yes, tonight I have been thinking about Tina. Tina, do you remember walking past me in the snow 14 years ago? Or on the escalator last Saturday? You were wearing rainbow gloves with matching socks. What a display of everyday sexuality. Although we've never spoken or exchanged emails, we got a strong connection, it just can't fail. Tina, Tina. Yes, tonight I have been thinking about scenes from a marriage that never took place. Although I did once buy a ring. Yeah. Tina, let's tantalize it and tease it. I forgot what I was gonna say to you. Oh, Tina, what do you like? Tina, there is no alternative, but I got to live, you know. And I'm not living on my own. Oh no, all those places we never met. Near misses, your lipstick on my coffee cup. Screwing in a charity shop on top of Blackburn nights. Full of donations, the smell of digested biscuits in the air. Welcome back to Dreamland, we all know your name. T-I-N-A, still reads a book on the train. Tina, Tina, Tina. Well, tonight I have been thinking about Tina. Went behind a petrochemical plant. I had a feeling I didn't understand. Was shivering on crutches, more dead than alive. It was Christmas 1985. It was the night they let me out of the home. It was the night I caught the bus on my own, and the city slithered past the windows like the film that was just beginning. I was so excited, I nearly missed my stop. It was 9:45, I was hopelessly lost. I arrived pretty late, but you didn't seem to mind. We are not the first, but we are golden tonight. Like two little children under the covers, adrift in the night with the universe above us. And I'll be the dad, and you'll be the mom. and we'll make out we know what it is that we've done. But whatever it is, I know that it's only just beginning. Yeah. Trying so hard to act just like a grown-up, and it's so hard, and we're hoping that we don't get shown up. 'Cause everybody wants to grow up. Finally part of the new generation, finally part of the pub conversation. And somehow this leads to mature life decisions, like the one that I heard of from Jeremy Scissors, who said he moved near the motorway because it was good for commuting. And I laughed in his face because I thought he was joking, but then I looked in his eyes and I saw he was not joking. No, he was trying. Trying so hard to act just like a grown-up. And it's so hard, and we're hoping that we don't get shown up. 'Cause everybody's got to grow up. Everybody, are you sure? And so you move from Camden out to Hackney, and you stress about wrinkles instead of acne, and you forget about Tina, get in a bad mood and buy a computer, and soon it will be time for some more food. Yeah. Later that first night, I had a dream that a new planet had been discovered, and through powerful telescopes we could see the inhabitants, and they seemed to be having a really good time. So we built a rocket, and I was on it. They put us in a state of suspended animation for the duration of the journey. And when we landed on this distant planet, we all woke up, and we discovered that we'd all lost our memories. And we looked back at the planet we'd just come from, and everyone there seemed to be having a really good time. But we couldn't return, because the rocket no longer had enough fuel left in it. Why am I telling you this story? I don't remember. Why did Maori decide to come out of the jungle to play doctors and nurses, and aunties and uncles, and cavaliers and roundheads, and tarts and vicars, playing all night to get in somebody's knickers? And I am not aging, no, I am just ripening, and life too short to drink bad wine, and that's frightening. And it's nearly sunset, we haven't had lunch yet. I'm sorry for asking, but what are we having fun yet? So hard to act just like a grown-up, and it's so hard, and we're hoping that we don't get shown up. 'Cause nobody wants to grow up. One last sunset, one final blaze of glory. And I know it's all about the journey, not the final destination. But what if you get travel sick before you've even left the station? When love slows down to almost nothing. When you're going through hell, well, how about you just keep going? 'Cause you crossed the line. Now you come reverse. Gone from all that you could be said, I feel your pain. God knows I share it too. Slow death. Now you know just what I went through. So how about we talk about something new? Because it's not a great deal that I can do. But I'll come back to haunt you. 'Cause I'm the resurrection man. Instead of having us this slow death, we should be having us a slow jam. 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 Here comes the Holy Trinity, the holy crown of all creation. Come on, let's have a threesome, baby. You, me, and my imagination. I said, you, me, and my imagination. We should be having us a slow jam. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a good year, the one when we still believed. Despite all evidence pointing to the contrary, I had nothing. I had nothing to base this love upon. Nothing but a feeling way down at the base of my spine. It's got nothing at all to do with my mind. No, just a feeling. Just a feeling. Now I stalk the labyrinth of my own myth, searching for clues with this faded glow stick. But I found nothing. No, I found nothing to base my life upon. Nothing but this feeling way down at the base of my spine. It's got nothing at all to do with my mind. No. There was no coat check, so we wore our dreams out on the dance floor. We danced so hard, got so hot, that they fused to us all. We thought that we were just joking, trying dreams on for size. We never realized we'd be stuck with them for the rest of our natural lives. summoned from the dark under the most extraordinary circumstances. That's when I saw you there, in the car park of the farmer's market, backlit by the sunset, or maybe the fires marking the end of the world. I stammered some pleasantries as I walked back to the car. And then I thought, hold on. Are these groceries really that important? More important than getting your number and finding out who you actually are. And you made it easy on me, babe. You smiled, and I could see that life had got to you too. But it was nothing serious, just a flesh wound. Still working on the dream. And as the day, babe, ain't it time we started living? 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 In a car park. But then the future broke through, and I knew that I was right. Ain't it time we started feeling? Ain't it time we started feeling? Ain't it time we started feeling? My sex leaves nothing to the imagination. My sex is jaded recreation. My sex is out of its mind, one of a kind and ill-defined. My sex is neither here nor there. It's neither him nor her. It's an out-of-body experience. My sex don't make no sense. My sex leaves much to be desired, spoken of in whispers behind closed doors. My sex is another myth, a lover's tale or a lover stiff. I haven't got an agenda, I haven't even got a gender. My sex is hard to explain. You can't melt it down in the rain. No, you can't melt it down in the rain. Smile on mine, handwritten, one of a kind. You show me yours, I'll show you mine. But hurry, cause my sex is running out of time. My loss is your gain. Keep your hands to yourself, cause it's hard to explain. And in answer to your question, my sex is open to suggestions. My sex is not forever. It's two silences stitched together. Love is invisible to the naked eye when it's raised in the dark in two people's minds. It's something you don't find every day. It's something that's been hidden away. A teeny tiny too much too late. Nowhere to put it, it's too oddly shaped. This love is too much to take in. There's two lives in a spin. Wow, what a strange love it's been. Span on mine, handwritten, question. I sex open to suggestions. A sex is not forever. It's two silences stitched together. I'm trying to work myself up. I'm trying to work myself out. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Beyond the shadow of a beyond the shadow of a beyond the shadow of a disappears, life disappears, and you sit on your backside for 25 years, and you hedge your bets, and twist, and bust, and try, and fail, and work on an album, and build a jail, and lock yourself away from the one thing that could save you, the one thing that scares you to death, the only thing that can bring you back to life. So learn to say it whilst keeping a straight face. Yeah, say it, you punks. It's time to come to your senses. It's time to wake up and face the consequences. What do you need? I'm asking you a question. Every one of you, without exception. What do you need? Speak up. I mean, do you even know how to spell it? Well, I'll spell it for you. Yeah. It goes L O V E. You spell it L O V E. To rain, I got on a train, started thinking about being single again. I got off at the next station, went to Westfield, trying to buy myself some time. Now I'm back here, and I'm trying to explain what brought me back. Just a hunch, just an inkling, just a feeling. A suspicion, a compromise for some habit, but I got this feeling over years. Love turns into background noise, like this ringing in my ears, like the buzzing of a fridge. You only know just when it disappears. I got no evidence, don't remember the first time, or the last time, or the way we got from here to there. Should I keep you at arm's length, too far away? I'll die of cold, too close, I'll lose my teeth and hair. It's only real if you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you're feeling. The afternoon sunlight in your hair, feet on the moss. Jesus Christ, now what a feeling. How could I know? Love turns into background noise, like this ringing in my ears, like the buzzing of the fridge. You only know just when it disappears. Love turns into background noise, like this ringing sun. A brand new shape to the universe. This is what it looks like with polarities reversed. Expansion becomes contraction. Repulsion becomes attraction. Standing with my hands on your hips, you're giving me a partial eclipse. All creation started like this. Sorry to insist on this partial eclipse of the sun. The morning was overcast, or maybe the clouds became a little darker. I walked down to the bottom of the road, and my blood ran cold. Going back to living in sheltered accommodation, sporadic central heating, looking for a clean mug whilst wearing a bobbly cardigan and odd socks. Another near miss, a partial eclipse of the sun. Factories lie empty, manufacturing emptiness. Life still needs to be filled, nonetheless. So go and find something to love, but just promise me this one thing, yes. Oh, please stay inside of the mainland. Yes, please stay inside of the mainland. I don't want you to go, but I know you got to go. So, before you go, there's just one thing you ought to know. Yeah, there's just one thing you ought to know. Yeah, there's just one thing you ought to know. Yeah, there's just one thing. Just one thing. You can fill your life with love. You can fill your life with oat. You can fill your life with food and drink, or whatever floats your boat. I'll be watching from the shoreline. I'll be singing you this song. There's a million things in store for you just beyond the horizon. So please stay inside of the mainland. Yes, please stay inside of the mainland. You're wiser than I'll ever be. You're beautiful, smart, so funny. You fill my heart, you fill my dreams. My only hope is you succeed. Yeah, my only hope is you succeed. Yeah, my only hope is you succeed. You're my only hope. You're my only hope. So please. Of the mainland. Please stay in touch with me in this contactless society. Anywhere that you may be, the Northern Star leads back to me. Yeah, the Northern Star leads back to me. Yeah, the Northern Star leads back to me. Yeah, the Northern Star. Yeah, the Northern Star. You're my Northern Star. So I scan the menu options. I did not have a choice. I'd like to teach the world to sing, but I do not have a voice. So I bought myself a ticket to to the happening of the year. The sky lit up with colours. The crowd let out a cheer. It's just a sunset. Someone said something that happened every day. Yes, it's a sunset. Someone said, but now they found a way to make it pay. I like to look at pretty things. I like to feast my eyes. Went to see the Northern Lights, but they were pale and weak and not as advertised. So now I'm learning about money, and I'm learning about law. The first rule of economics: unhappy people, they spend more. It's just a sunset. Someone said something is coming to an end. Yes, it's a sunset. Someone said, and just exactly how much did you spend? Oh, I'd like to teach the world to sing, but I do not have a voice. And I'd like to buy the world sometime, and a choice. Yes, I'd like to teach the world to sing, but I do not have a voice. And I'd like to buy the world sometime, and a choice.
Still have two left to dissolve. There's a lot to say. A lot to say. So about the first track, I feel like part of it is listening to it in headphones that are really good, and then part of it is just I feel like this version just sounds so much better than what's on YouTube. And I think part of that's probably how when something's on YouTube sometimes there's like a little bit of a quality loss. Okay, now I have one left. So I felt like just the sound quality was so much sharper, and the song was every bit as enjoyable as the first time hearing it. Still so fun. And And it was what he was singing was a lot more clear as well. The second one, Tina, it was very highly detailed, which is always a fun thing with their songs. The songs that really go into like intricate detail about the relationships that, even if they're like relationships that are in the past, just they're still interesting, and it's interesting to me the songs where he'll reflect on things like that, and especially now, I feel like, because like with songs like Acrylic Afternoons, there's like this thing of it being where it feels like so caught up in it that it doesn't seem like it's kind of separated from that dream state mentally. Yeah, because sometimes that'll happen over time. You'll look back over a relationship and memories, and they maintain this sort of dreamy glow. Over time, as new information is gleaned from it, or new information happens, it can sometimes lose some of that. And I feel like there's a little bit more emotional maturity with songs like not Pulp, but the Jarve is and now I can't remember the name of the song. Swanky Modes. Swanky Modes feels like it could easily be about any of the things that might have been discussed before in Pulp songs, but with more detail and more like a crisper understanding of certain things. Although actually, I feel like 97 Lovers, and that one's much older. I feel like that one really also has a lot of emotional maturity to it as well. Like just what I feel like is different really is I feel almost like some of the cynicism from before has been kind of taken down some. I mean, there's still a little bit. I mean, just throughout this entire album, I feel like there's more. There's more emotional depth. There's more. There's still a little bit of. Of that kind of comical side, but it's not as much in the realm of like I just feel like it's not as cynical as some of the older things. So Grown-Ups reminded me of Joyriders being wise, but it was hilarious to me because, and it's also like Stacks being wise with the whole thing of that kind of thing of like you're a teenager but you're an adult, like when people reach that stage of being a teenager but also being an adult and feeling like you're prepared for anything, but really you don't realize how much you're not prepared for, and just that whole smug thing of thinking you know so much, and then when you actually experience those things, you get to see like the darker parts of it, or the parts where it's just not what you originally thought that things would be. So it's very, very funny. But also in a way it's kind of like helped age it, because it's like this thing of like you reach a point where you feel like you're still trying to prove that you are mature, when really it's like something's just never changed, and sometimes the harder you fight to be taken seriously, the less mature you seem. It's like when you find that you can just relax and not try so much, that's when people start really believing that in your potential and everything. Slow Jam felt really sad. I felt like it was maybe kind of like a sort of thing about just the meaningfulness of taking your time with life, and how sometimes you will just have to live through things you wouldn't want to, but like depression and all of that, like sometimes you just have to kind of accept the emotion for what it is, and just kind of accept your experience and what you can't change, and just understand that there are things you can't control, and also to finally understand that there are things that are beyond your power, that you don't have to carry around with you, and you don't have to do everything on your own. And I felt like there was a moment that it did surprise me, where it seemed like he's it sounded like he was talking about coming to faith, or at least beginning to maybe believe. But I could be wrong about it. It could have been sarcastic. I mean, I think that there was some sarcasm there, but I feel like it wasn't entirely sarcasm. And it was beautiful. I cried a little bit. Farmer's Market was also beautiful, really sweet. It felt like it felt like it feels weird to say sweet when I mean it. Like, it does feel like a but also like a kind of there's a word for it. It's like there's a humility to it, like there's just a humility to it anyway. I feel like my sex had like a twofold kind of message to it. Kind of like some of the other like earlier stuff, like that one does have some cynicism to it, a little bit of sarcasm, but I feel like that one, I feel like it kind of plays around with perceptions that people will put on him, and probably like the kinds of things that that are assumed, and but also just the very nature of that whole sort of like sharp focus. That it's like, I mean, on the one hand, it's like he does write about that so much in his songs. So he does draw attention to himself with it, but at the same time, there's like there's the person apart from the from the kind of like fantastical things that he writes about. Not that it's all like fantastical, but there are some things that have a little bit of a sort of lust glazed thing with some songs. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's creativity, and I mean, even when you go back and remember certain things, you're going to have sometimes some like there will sometimes be certain like undertones that end up getting into the memories you have that make them like certain memories of certain things will become a lot more romantic or a lot more steamy when it comes to like thinking back over certain things. So you can sometimes almost turn the things you went through into this kinds of like fantasies, even though they were real. It's like the brain sometimes does that. So I feel like that song kind of like plays with that it's like, you know, there's the, not plays with that in particular, but I mean it sort of plays with the whole thing of like he's made people notice him, but at the same time there's the reality to it where it's like it's kind of like that one song in his solo career, effing song, about like the way that people like fantasize, but he's really just playing things up. He's really just acting, and he knows that he's acting, and he's able to separate it. But there are people who would never know those things as being separate, and so it's like, or they wouldn't think of it that way, and they get like parasocial with it. So I feel like that song's another example of that kind of thing, where it's like, but at the same time he's also talking about in terms of like identity and the act as well. Got to Have Love, I cried. I didn't expect to cry listening to it, and this one, like, I think it's really that moment of the song that was bringing up Feeling Called Love, I felt like it just kind of brought that back with the spelling it out. It's like, it is true, like, something changed, and just certain songs by Pulp are fairly romantic, but there has been so much like cynicism before regarding romantic things in previous Pulp songs through the years, and it's like one of those things where it's like sometimes the very thing that you sometimes you can be like so very emotionally vulnerable and so just easily easily emotionally receptive as well, to the point that you try to safeguard yourself from feeling that way, or safeguard yourself from acknowledging it, or you get bitter about, or maybe not totally bitter, but like you can kind of develop these sort of things that sort of like defense mechanisms against the very things that you actually dream about. And so it's like you've got these things that come against you that are actually from yourself. And I feel like that song really addresses that kind of thing of like that struggle of like the hopeless romantic who can't allow themselves to be what they really are. They can't let themselves really be a hopeless optimist or a hopeless romantic because they're so afraid to acknowledge that love is a need, and it's something that it's not just something that people deserve but actually need. And that it's something that when it is really love, when you deny people who are coming from a good place and just want to be well, it's not really that you get like a sense of disgust for it, but it's still there can be a kind of thing where it's like you can get so careful and so afraid that you can't allow yourself to even imagine. And yeah, it's just that was a brilliant song, and I thought it was really fantastic, really profound, and also just really relatable. Background noise as well made me cry. That one just seems more to me about loss than it did. I mean, it did seem like it is about love, but it seems like not just like loss of relationship kind of loss, but like anyways, just about tragic loss. And it was just beautiful. and I don't even know what to say more about it. It was written with such care. It was just fantastic. I always love the way that there will be those moments in pulp songs that are just so easy to picture, so easy to envision, because they are describing things in new ways, and it's like, it's just I love that. I always love that, like just the metaphors. I always love the metaphors. Partially Eclipse at first seemed self-deprecating, but then as it went on, I actually wondered. There were a few things I wondered, like at one point it almost sounds like it could be talking about like feeling like you're in the way, or like in a relationship, or but then it becomes more like seemingly about intimacy, and then there also seems to be something in there that kind of sounds like it might be about a woman being pregnant, so it could be something that I'm just wondering, like maybe that could have been something that was in reference to much longer ago. Who knows? But I don't really know, and I still felt like it was a very fascinating story, because it seems like with every new verse there's just more more meaning added to what's being eclipsed. And I think that's partly why lyrics have such a kind of like vagueness, is that it's like that sort of speaks to what the song title is, and the idea of the eclipse is that it's like, if you read between the lines, you could get this out of it, or if you think harder about it, there are certain things that, without being said, kind of lend themselves. It's very interesting. The Hymn of the North, featuring Chili Gonzalez, was so beautiful. I was not expecting the sudden change in music towards the end, and that was just fantastic and amazing, but it was also very shocking. It was so cool. I actually wondered if that was about Steve Mackey or not. It sounded like it might have been, but then it could have also been about fatherhood as well, because you could sort of see it that way too, like kind of like the thing of like at the end of Treasure Planet where you got Silver in the stars and Jim looks up and he sees Silver. Just that kind of thing. Like Silver's not his father, but it's still there's that thing of him being like a father, and so he's like in stars and looking down. And like the whole Mufasa's in the stars and looking down. So it could be about like it could be about either things or both at the same time. It's just a very beautiful song. And a sunset, I remember the first time I heard it, and I loved it, and I was not expecting the background vocals on it, and I thought the background vocals made it so much more endearing. And I loved every song on this album. Every song. So like the thing with the fireballs, they're hot. So my sort of rationale while listening to it was I would use the fireballs as a kind of visual marker when I go back and I can actually see, okay, this is when I started unwrapping the fireball, and because I might make a facial expression or something, and maybe later I'll be editing and I won't remember why I made the facial expression, or I won't remember what it was I was thinking when I was listening. But I chose to start having a fireball anytime a Pulp song had something in it that I thought was like basically spicy, steamy. Because I was thinking like there are probably going to be like multiple moments where I would say like, I mean not to say that I was thinking, yeah, this will be like super hot all the way through, but I just was thinking, Of course it's going to be, because it wouldn't be a Pulp song if there weren't. And especially the way that it was being described is like, it'll be about the same topics, just approached maybe differently. So I was very curious about that, and it was like, I'll just pop one of those cinnamon jawbreakers in anytime there's a song. Like, just see if I can do that. Like, can I actually have, like... Because I was actually starting to worry at one point. It's like... And I had to think about it. I was like, I can't pop a jawbreaker in my mouth every single time there's something in a song that is hot in some way, because then I really can't fit all those. But I was thinking I could just do it where it's like that will be just kind of like the umbrella hot jawbreaker for the song. Like once I've had that covers any of the others that might be later. Music-wise, there were a lot of songs that reminded me of some of the songs off of This Is Hardcore. With that kind of like bluesy, jazzy thing. Like how the Professional has that bluesy jazz. I'm probably probably mislabeling it mentally, but it's that kind of jazzy thing. A lot of these songs sort of had that sound. But then some of it also reminded me of even older Pulp songs. Like it kind of, some of it even reminded me of like songs off of It, or songs off of Freaks, sort of. Okay, maybe not of Freaks, but like just kind of. Some of it just had a little bit more of that. I'm trying to think of what to even say that, like. It almost seems like it almost seems like with It there were songs that were kind of like before there was a little bit more of a emotional reservedness, and I feel like the kind of like more emotional acceptance of being more like emotionally open, that kind of maturity seems almost full circle. I mean it's not entirely like, I mean it's not naive in any way. And I don't really feel like Pulpit is exactly naive, but it's a lot more, there's just a more of a fearlessness going forward kind of thing. Whereas like as the albums went on, I felt like there was increasing reservedness, which makes sense. But I feel like this one, you can definitely see how they have grown. Both like talent-wise, musically, but also in terms of emotional maturity and understanding. And understanding oneself, there's just a lot more. It's fantastic. It's so good. And I loved absolutely every song. A lot of the songs felt like they could have easily been on some of the previous ones. I'm so glad that they've made this album so good. So good. I love it.